Hello there, how are you doing? Now in this video we're going to start writing some code which will help us understand Redux. Okay, so I have this simple project here which is completely empty. It's a folder. It has two files. One is HTML, one is JavaScript. Okay, so I have included this index.js in the body, and that's about it. There's nothing there. Okay, so let's begin writing some code to get better understanding of how Redux works. Okay, in Redux, the first thing is it holds a state. Okay, just like in React we hold state in a class, in a similar way in Redux also we will have an initial state to begin with. Okay, so first initial state. Okay, so we use const state. Now how it all works in the actual React Redux application, you will see that once you're going to implement Redux in React application. Okay, completely understand, it will be absolutely understandable 100%. But for the moment, just understand that it begins with state and a couple of other topics I will introduce. Just understand that. Don't try to compare that with, okay, that's fine, but how are you going to do this? How do you? Don't worry about it. That is coming next, and that time I will explain, and it will make perfect sense. Okay, so don't think a lot. Just focus on this one. All right. So initial state, we will have an initial state. For example, let's say it's a to-dos application. Okay. So in to-dos application, sorry, in to-dos application, for example, our initial state will have the name of to-dos. Okay, it's an array. Okay, so in this array of to-dos we might have some to-dos, right? For example, let's create one to-do object. It will have the name of text and its value will be eat food. Okay, so that is one object, okay, in our to-do state. And second, another object, let's create another to do, and this time its text is exercise, eat and exercise. All right, so that is the initial state. For example, this is our application, and our application, the initial state holds to-dos array, and in that array we have two to-dos. Simple as that. Okay, that is the state. Now let's say we need to do something with this state. Okay, we have this state sitting there, but what do we do? Right, that's when we need to create some kind of action. So that's what you do in Redux using action types. Okay, well, there are two things. One is action type and another is action creators. Okay, now they work together. So let me introduce you the action type. First we create the type of action, then we will create the action itself. Okay, so initial state, once we have that, we need to make something happen, so we create action. So before we create action, we create action types. Very organized way. Yeah? Okay, so create a simple action type. Okay, so like we said, we want to create some action, but what sort of action do we create? And in a bigger application, you might need many type of action. That's why it's always a good idea to define the action types. Okay, so in this case, let's create just one action type. Okay, const add to do. So the action that we want to create, we give it a name. This is action to do, and now the name itself suggests what type of action it is. It is the type of action that will add to do, right? Self-explanatory. So const add to do equals to we create a string. Okay, so the type of action is very simple. It's a string. Const add to do, it's a variable which will hold this string. Now with this, we do this because in bigger application you might need to have many action types. So just by looking at the action type, you understand the entire application, how it might work, you know. And then another thing is we need to use these action types in many different locations. So just so that you don't misspell and then the application doesn't work the way you want, to avoid all those troubles, we always create action type first. Okay, self-explanatory. Initial state of to-dos, and then we want to do something with the to-dos, so we create a simple action type. Okay, now next thing, we have the action type. It doesn't do anything. It's just a variable which has the same name in a string, wrapped in a string, nothing else, right? So how do we actually do anything? Okay, we do that using the action creators. Okay, these names can be confusing when you're just beginning with the Redux, but like you can see, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's create some action creators. Create action creators. Now we have the state, we have the type, we know what we want to do. Now how do we do it? Okay, we do that using the action creators. Well, not yet. There are more steps, but next step is the action creator. So let's create our very first action using the regular function. Okay, so the function add to do. Now it's the same name, however this function we just write as a regular function, and this add to do will take the text, right? We'll take the text, and then it will return the object that will contain the type and payload. And that's what they call in Redux. Okay, so let me do this first. What it's going to return is it's going to return the object which will have the type and payload. Okay, so the type is add to do. Great. Type is add to do, and then payload is text. Okay, so this is the first stage of Redux. Okay, so first we have the initial state to-do application. We have some to-dos. Okay, now we need to add, delete, do all that stuff. So the first thing we want to do is we want to add some action to it. So we create the action type, add to do. Okay, so you have the action type, but it doesn't do anything. So we create action creators. So what it will do, it will return that type. It is returning, it takes the text, the add to do, whatever comes in from the user input, it will take that. Okay, now this function we will use in React side of the application. We will import this application in React. So when we on form submit, we will execute this function. When we execute that function, that will come to this action creator. It will get the text, the actual input of the user. So it will return the type, which is the add to do, and then the payload is the one that is received from the user, as you can see. So you see, this is how Redux works in the first stage. Now it returns, it is still not doing anything. It is not adding to the initial state or anything. It is only returning. So the next step comes when this return object will be used to manage state. Okay, so I'll cover that in the next lesson. Okay, it can be empty state. Okay, so the state, and then we create action type, and then we use that type just to avoid the spelling errors and things like that, and this is better organized. And then we will have a simple function which is action creator, which will create the action. This action will contain the type of action and the data. So in this case, we will invoke this function from the React side of the application. So this is it. Now in the next video, we're going to cover more the further steps. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.